Hi everyone, thanks for joining us for our third Tech Tip Tuesday. We're just going to give everyone a minute or two to join and see if we get some more attendees, so just bear with us for a minute and then we'll get started. Okay, it looks like a few more people have joined in, so we'll go ahead and get started. Thanks again for joining today's Tech Tip Tuesday. Today, Howard is going to talk about our hybrid drive technology and caching and how that relates to our new product launch with our new caching capabilities. So without further ado, here's Howard.
Morning, good evening, wherever you are. We have attendees all over the world today. And my name is Howard Young. I'm the sales architect for Zadara. And today we're going to go over a product announcement which really benefits both our on-premise customers and in the cloud itself. So if you're not familiar with our hybrid cache technology, what we do is we provide cache in front of SAS and SATA drives. So if you're already using SSDs, this will not affect your performance and you cannot enable it on the SSDs. You write all the IOs will go directly to the SSDs. But for the slower drives, the SAS and SATA, we do offer a technology it's a hybrid caching type of technology where we place a layer of SSD in RAID 1 configuration below the SATA and SSD pools. And you can enable that on the fly, you can disable it on the fly, you can add cache, scale up, scale down, depending on your requirements. So we have the capability now to basically with a single RAID, you will be able to scale up to 3.2 terabytes on the larger models. Some of the smaller engines, it'll be a little bit smaller, maybe a terabyte or less, and I'll go over those parameters. So what happens is when the IO comes in, it's written directly to the SSDs, and then as there's a flush or if we need more room for the additional IO, the data, older data will get flushed out to the SATA or the SSD or the SAS drives. If we need the data, if there's a read, we read it back into the SSDs and then there's a hit. So there's always a refresh depending if you're doing a read or write. If you're doing a lot of database IOs to the same area on the drive, what will happen is the reads will get cached and you get really incredible performance on your database. And likewise with your, if you're doing writes to the same tables, they'll get cached also in SSDs. Now this is the type of engines and the type of caches that we're going to. Now this is going to be in the 1605 version, and it's a little bit different in the version that is currently deployed, the version 15 and 14 if you're in some of the older clouds. With every engine, you're going to have a base cache. So it'll be either 20, 40, 60, up to 100. In the version you have now, the cache itself will be, you can go a little bit larger, but we're going to reduce that down because you'll get better performance when you extend the cache. And with a 400 engine, for example, you can expand up to 400 gig and so on and so forth. So you can see the type of engines that will provide this capability. And we're only going to do, instead of a 20 gigabyte chunk, we're going to only allow 200 gigabyte chunks to extend that. So, for example, if the 400 engine, that's if you're running that engine, you can start off with no cache, no extended cache, but you have baseline 20 gig cache, or you can increment that in 200 gigabyte chunks, which would give you a 200 or a 400 gigabyte chunk of cache that you can work with for your application. And of course, the larger size, you go up to 3.2 terabytes, which will give you very good performance, especially with a 1600 engine with 8 CPUs per virtual controller. So if you look at the performance on the, just the RAID 1 performance with and without cache, you can see that the SAS drives give you about 1600 IOPS on the read and 3200 on the write. But with the cache itself, you'll get up to 22,000 IOPS on the read and 8K on the write. Now, and likewise for the 6 terabyte drives, the 6 terabyte drives are a little slower than SAS, of course, but you get the same performance for those type of IOs. Now this test was done right on a container, so as you may be aware that you can run Docker inside the VPSA. So this is going to give you the best performance, and this eliminates all latency. This will be typical, or maybe a little bit less on an OPAS if you're running a 10 gig link or 20 or multiple 20 gig links into the OPAS. And of course, we support 40 gig interfaces too. And if you'd like to try this demo, you run it right here through this URL. You just need to spin up a VPSA or a Docker container, and you can run it directly on your VPSA. So to enable the cache, let me go back and open up a VPSA. From the VPSA, you go over here to the pools, and you can see on the right-hand side, you can see if it's cached or uncached. If you want to disable cache, you just disable cache, and that would give you the raw performance of the cache. And so what's happening right there, you can see it's disabling the cache. It's flushing out all the active I/O or any I/O that's been cached due to a read or write. And then once it's completed, it will say no here. And of course, once it finishes, you can enable it just simply by enabling cache. So you can test the performance of your application, based on read or write with the cache, depending on how your application performs. So here are some resources for you. If you need any more questions, you can contact me directly. And if you have any questions, you can always type it in here in the chat box. I see there's one question.
Yeah, Howard, we did have one question come up. If you can go back to the screen where you were looking at the read and write performance. Some people are wondering why the writes to cache are about a third slower than the reads. Can you go into that a little bit for us?
Yeah, that's the behavior of the application because it's a small I/O. But let's go back to here. When you do a read from that's already cached, it just reads directly. So you're going to get 24,000 IOPS directly from a cached read. But when you do a write, you got to remember we have to do a read modified write. So we have to read from the cache first, and then make the modification, and then write it back. So the read is actually not going to the user. It's going inside the controller into the memory. We do the modification, and then we have to write it. Now the write's going to be twice, so it's going to be, because it's a RAID 1, it's written to both parts of the mirror. So it'll take 1/3 because of read and 2 writes.
Great, thank you. And what's really great about all this is it's our new large flash cache capabilities. We can scale up to 3.2 terabytes. So if you're already a customer, this is definitely something that you should be taking advantage of. And again, Howard can be reached at howard@zadarastorage.com and then on Twitter at howardY. If you want to click the direct link, I also, for this Docker reference, I sent it into the chat. So you can just copy and paste it into your browser. But please follow up with any additional questions and hope to see you back next week. What are we covering next week, Howard?
Next week we're going to look at fiber channel, and this is for OPAS, and we'll look at maybe some performance and how it integrates with existing on-premise installs.
Great. Well, we hope to see you all then, and have a great week.
Goodbye, all.